Football has always been more than just a game. It's a stage where dreams are made, and sometimes heartbreaking falls. Today we're talking about one of the most tragic stories in football history. A story that reminds us of how the beautiful game can sometimes turn dark. This is the story of Andrés Escobar, the Colombian defender whose life was tragically cut short after the 1994 World Cup. Escobar was known as El Caballero del Fútbol. He was a calm, composed defender who played with elegance and heart. But his story is one of the most shocking losses and tale of how a single moment on the pitch can lead to devastating consequences. The early 90s was a golden era for Colombian football. With stars like Carlos Valderrama, Freddy Rincon, Faustino Asprilla and Andrés Escobar, Colombia had assembled one of the most exciting teams in the world. Colombia's crowning moment came in September 1993, facing Argentina in Buenos Aires. Colombia produced one of the most stunning performances in World Cup qualification history, dismantling the Albiceleste 5-0. This victory not only secured Colombia's place in the 1994 World Cup, but also elevated them to the status of dark horses for the tournament. Andrés Escobar was at the heart of his success, a key player for Atlético Nacional. He had already tasted glory by winning the Copa Libertadores in 1989. His calm leadership and defensive power made him indispensable for both club and country. Off the pitch, he was known for his humility and commitment to using football as a way to inspire hope in Colombia. But the World Cup didn't go as planned. Colombia was drawn into a challenging group with Romania, the United States, and Switzerland. Their first match against Romania ended in a 3-1 defeat, a result that sent shockwaves through the team and the nation. With expectations sky high, the pressure on the players was immense. Then came the match against the United States on June 22, 1994. It was a must-win game for Colombia. Early in the first half, disaster struck. In the 35th minute, Andrés Escobar attempted to block a cross from the US midfielder John Harkes, and instead, the ball deflected off his foot into his own net. The own goal was devastating. Colombia lost the match 2-1, effectively ending their World Cup hopes. The team's early exit was a bitter disappointment for a nation that had dared to dream of glory. Andrés Escobar, ever the gentleman, took fully responsibility. In an article published shortly after the match, he wrote, "Life doesn't end here, we have to move on." But little did he know how tragically his life would end. After Colombia's elimination, Escobar returned to Medellin. On July 2nd, 1994, just 10 days after his own goal, Escobar went to a nightclub with his friends to unwind. In the early hours of the morning, he left the club and went to his car. There, he was confronted by a group of men who had been mocking him about the own goal. The confrontation quickly escalated. One of them, Humberto Muñoz Castro, pulled out a gun and shot Escobar 6 times. Witnesses reported that the shooter shot at the goal after his shot, mocking Escobar's own goal. The 27-year-old defender was rushed to the hospital, but was pronounced dead a short time later. The murder sent shockwaves around the world. Andrés Escobar's death was not just personal tragedy, but a reflection of how dangerous intersection between football and the violent world of Colombian drug cartels was. It was later revealed that Muñoz Castro was a bodyguard for members of a powerful cartel who had lost significant money betting on Colombia's World Cup success. Escobar's funeral was attended by thousands. Fans, teammates, and family gathered to mourn a man whose life had been so cruelly taken away. The tragedy of Andrés Escobar became a turning point in Colombian football, highlighting the dark side of the game in a nation gripped by violence. To this day, Escobar is remembered as a symbol of dignity and sportsmanship. Outside Atlético Nacional Stadium in Medellin, a statue stands in his honor.